Hello everyone, I am Cindy from Crochet. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this lovely little seahorse, Sunntendante Chevalmann. So she is such a charming seahorse who is Furina's favorite. And you can also see that she is in the part of Furina's project as well. I also teach you to make the whole family of seahorses, the mother seahorse and 2 other baby seahorses. I have put all these pattern, tips, and techniques into the ebook called Crochet Furina, Realm of Hydro Archon and Sea Friends. If you are interested in this pattern and you want to support me, you can find the book Crochet Furina, Realm of Hydro Archon and Sea Friends on my Etsy shop and also Ravelry shop as well for the printable PDF version. But for those who want to get it for free, I also provide you free pattern. You can continue watching this video because I'm giving this pattern for free as well. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates and my new creation in the future. In this video, I'm going to teach you her baby seahorse, Sunntendante Chevalmann, middle seahorse, and the mother seahorse. Okay, let's start off with our first pattern. We will mainly use the lace yarn and 1.75 mm crochet hook and the color as follows. These are the components: the outer gill, eyes, head, collar, fin, body, and hands. And the color as follows. And this is the pattern of the head. You can capture the summary of this pattern for your personal use only. And this is also the next part of the head and the mouth. Please capture the screen as well. Okay, we have so many color, and then for the horn and the head, let's start off with magic ring 4 SC like this. After that, for row 2 to row 4, change the color according to this chart. And after you finish row 4, you will have the total of 12 stitches. And then after that, just fold the work together. And then for row 5, skip 1 stitch in the corner. Then make 4 SC in 2 layers. You have to put the hook into the back loop of the other side and then make SC. So we make 4 SC in aquamarine color like this. Because I attach both sides using the back loop, so we have the remaining front loop of the side. And then on the remaining front loop, you need to make 2 SC like this, and then make increase. Okay, you see I go on the front loop, make increase, and then okay, make increase like this, and then change color to white, and then make SC like this, and then change color to blue again, and then make increase. Okay, and then next one we use you have to make 2 SC, and then you finish this row with 13 stitches. And then for row 6, just continue as follows. And then for row 7 and 8, just make it normally by following the code above. After you finish row 8, you will have 20 stitches. And then for row 9, you will need to make the eye holes by fasten off first and skip 2 stitches as the eye hole, and then slip stitch the yarn in again, make increase SC increase in white, and then fasten off, and then skip 2 stitches again, and then slip stitch the yarn in light blue color, and then make 4 SC. You will have a total of 22 stitches including the skip stitch. And then for row 10, you will need to join the hole by making 2 chains and went across the hole, and then follow the code below. For row 10, you have to skip for mouth hole as well by making 2 SC first, and then fasten off, skip 1 stitch, and then slip stitch the yarn in again, make 2 SC, and then make 2 chains and go over the eye hole. Okay, now I'm making 2 SC, and then you need to make 2 chains like this, and then go over the eye holes, and then make 4 SC, so you have to change the color according to the chart. You will have this, and then for row 11, just also you have to still skip for the mouth holes by making 10 SC in blue and 3 SC in white, and then after that just fasten off before you go over the hole. Fasten off like this, and then skip one stitch on the hole, slip stitch the yarn in the other side again, make 3 SC in white and then 5 SC in blue. And then after you finish this row, you will have a total of 22 stitches, which include the skipped stitch as well. Okay, keep making until you finish row 11. Then the next row, for row 12, you need to make one chain and go over the hole to form the mouth hole. And after that, don't forget to fill in polyester fiber before you go on row 13 and 14 by following the code I wrote on the screen. For row 13, you will need to make SC in the back loop as well for a bit. And then for row 14, you can just fasten off because we have finished the head part. And you get this. Okay, and then for the mouth, we have to start at the bottom of the mouth hole and then make 8 SC around the mouth hole. You can see the chart on the right hand side of the screen. So basically, you just make a SC around the hole. So you will have the total of 8 stitches. And then you get this after the first row, like this. And then for the second row and third row, just follow the code I wrote on the screen. For the third row, you have to start off at the bottom with decrease like this, and then just go with 6 SC around. After that, you will have the total of 7 stitches at this row, and then for row 3 as well, and then fasten off. You will get this shape of the mouth, and then sew the mouth attach it to the face like this. Okay, and then for the eye part, this one is the eyebrows part. Actually, just capture the screen for the personal use only. Okay, we will have to start off with the eyes by using 4mm back beads, and then you have to wrap one side using the white lace yarn twice like this. And then after that, for the eyelid, use the pink salmon color. By start off by magic ring, make slip stitch, and then SC, and then DC on this ring like this. Okay, DC, and then make one chain, and then make SC again on the ring, and then make slip stitch on the ring like this, and then fasten off. Don't pull the yarn just yet. You need to wrap the yarn around below like this. Attach the eye into the hole of the eyelid, and then sew the eyelid into the eye hole like this. Now I finished attaching to eyelid, and then after that just fill in more polyester fiber into mouth. Then the next part is the inner gill, so you can capture the screen for the summary of pattern here like this. And then after that, let's start with the grill. For the grill, work on the front loop of row 12 and row 13. For the right grill, start from row 13 first, which is in the bottom, right? And then make slip stitch the yarn in, make 2 chain, and then HDC on the front loop like this, and then make 2 chain again, and then slip stitch on the front loop of row 13. And then after that, just make 2 chain, and then make HDC on the front loop of row 12, and then fasten off, and then just sew it like this. So it will have the shape of the glue. You can see the right hand side of the screen for the chart. And then for the left glue, we will have to start on the top, which is row 12, by making 2 chains, and then make HDC on the front loop of row 12 first. And then after that, just make 2 chain again, and then slip stitch on the front loop of row 13, and then make 2 chain again, make HDC on the front loop of row 13, and then fasten off like this. And then just finish 2 inner glue
Here is the pattern of the outer gills, so you can capture the screen for your personal use only.
And then for the outer grill, you will have to work separately by making word magic ring 3 chain and then make triple crochet like this. Okay, you can look up in internet how to make triple crochet and then make 3 chain again and then slip stitch on the ring and then make 2 chain, make HDC and then just make 2 chains again and then slip stitch on the ring. So you will have the shape of the outer grill, and then don't forget to fasten off and then pull the yarn to fasten the loop like this. Now we get it. Make 2 sides of them and then attach them behind the inner gill like this. Okay, attach them, and alright, we almost finished. We have the last part, which is the Coronet. And this one is quite simple. You have to make magic ring and then make SC, HDC and then SC and then just fasten off and pull the yarn and then just attach them beside the middle horn like this. Okay, now we finish it, and then the last part is the eyebrow. Just embroider the eyebrow using the pink salmon color and just embroider it on top of the eyelid just like this, above the eyelid just like this. Okay, now we finished the head part. Alright, let's move to the next part, the body part, which is inclusion of tail and body. You have to use these 3 colors, the purple, the ice blue and the clappy blue. Okay, let's start off with the purple, or actually it is lavender color. Make magic ring 3 SC and then for the second row make increase and then 2 SC, and after you finish the second row you have 4 stitches and you have to revert inside out and then just continue row 3 and then for row 4 you change the color into the ice blue and then continue the following pattern until you finish it. Okay, and then after that just sew the tail to the body as follow like this. And then for the hand, this one is gonna be a little bit tricky. You have to capture the screen for your personal use, and this includes the chart as well. Use 3 colors, salmon pink, pastel pink and pale pink. Start off with the pale pink by making the first row for 3 chains, and then for the second row make 1 chain and then turn, make 3 SC. Finish row 3 and then go to row 4 by changing to the pastel pink. Make 2 chain first, treat at 1 HDC and then make 2 HDC in the same stitch like this, and then make 1 chain, make SC in the next stitch, make 1 chain again, then make 2 HDC in the same stitch. Lastly, make 2 chains and then make SC in the last stitch and then fasten off. You get something like this. And then for 5th row, change to salmon pink, make slip stitch the yarn in, make 2 chains at the beginning and then make 2 DC together like this and then fasten off. After that, just slip stitch on the SC stitch from the previous row, make SC and then make 2 chains and then after that make 2 DC together. So making 2 DC together, it will give the shape of the hand like this, and it looks kind of like pointed shape, right? Okay, now you can just fasten off. Okay, now we finish, and then after that just sew the tip of it and then just embroider flowers using the white lace yarn like this. Made a total of 2 hands like.
Then next part is collars and fins. These are the summary of the pattern.
This. Okay, and then next to the next part, the collar. For the collar, you make 9 chains and then slip stitch to form the loop like this. Okay, and then for the second row, just make SC and then HDC and then 2 HDC in the same stitch. and then 2 DC in the same stitch. 1 chain SC, 1 chain, 2 DC in the same stitch, 2 SDC in the same stitch, SDC and then SC and then fasten off. You will get this shape. Then the fin use mix of salmon pink and white like this. Make magic ring SC, SDC and then SC and then fasten off like this. And then after that, just embroider pink thread around the whole piece of fin, just like this, and then you will get the fin with the mixture of white and pink salmon. Okay, now assemble all of them together. First of all, attach the hand to the body first. Okay, leave the space around the neck and then wear the collar on top of the necks and then sew them. And then attach the fin at the back side. And after that, we finish it. Then attach the head like this. Now baby seahorse is completed.
Okay, let's move to Sunntendante Chevalmann. She is the companion of Furina, and she is very lovely little seahorse. Okay, this is the component, and you can see this color palette right here. Please capture the screen for your reference. And for the first component would be the head. Please capture the screen for your personal use only. And the next slide, okay, this one is the continued parts of the head and also the mouth pattern as well. Okay, don't forget to skip for the mouth hole. And now I will show you only for row 5, which is the horn part. After row 4, just fold the work and then just skip the first stitch in the corner and then make 4 SC in both layers together like this. And then after that, just make 2 SC increase, SC increase, 2 SC in front of the loop. Okay, so basically on row 5, you will have the total of 13 stitches like this. Okay, it is the same way as you do on the baby seahorse, and when you complete this, you don't need to skip for the eye hole. Okay, and now we're going to get to the pattern of the gills, the inner gills and the outer gills. Please capture the screen. And I will show you the right inner gill. We will start from the bottom, which is row 13. Work on the front loop. Slip stitch the yarn in, make 2 chains, and then make HDC on the front loop of row 13. Then make 2 chains, and then slip stitch on the front loop of row 13 as well. And then after that, for the second step, you need to make 2 chains and then HDC on the front loop of row 12 and then fasten off. You will get this. Also, you can see the chart on the right hand side of the screen. And now for the left side, we're going to work from the top, which is row 12, and then slip stitch the yarn in, make 2 chains, make HDC in the front loop of row 12, and then make 2 chains, slip stitch in front of the front loop of row 13, and then make 2 chains, and then HDC on the front loop of row 13, and now fasten off. You will get this shape. Okay, now we complete both of them. Let's get to the mouth. For the mouth, we're going to slip stitch the yarn at the bottom of the mouth hole, and then make 8 SC around the mouth hole. You can see the stitch on the chart on the right hand side of the screen. So you're going to make SC around the mouth hole like this. So keep in mind that you will get the total of 8 stitches for the first row. And now for the second row, make decrease first, and then make decrease, and then make 6 SC around. So after you finish the second row, you will have a total of 7 stitches. And then lastly, for the third row, just change the color a little bit to the darker brown, make 7 SC and then fasten off. So now you have the total of 3 rows for the mouth, and now it is completed. And then after that, I will recommend you to fill some polyester on the mouth as well. And now let's move to the sleeping eye. So you don't have to skip for the horse because we're going to embroider the eyebrows and the eye as well using the using the black sewing thread, or you can use the black yarn, the black lace yarn as well. Okay, so you can just embroider it as follows. And then going to make the edge line around the diamond shape on the top of the forehead. So this is just like a little bit of the strain or the mark on the forehead, right? So just do it like this. Okay, now this is finished. And then the next part is the outer grill. So I'm going to show you just only left side of it. Start off with magic ring, make 3 chains, and then make triple crochet on the ring like this, and then make 3 chain again, slip stitch on the ring while change the color to the lighter brown, lighter blue, and now make 2 chains and then make HDC and then 2 chains again, then slip stitch on the ring and now fasten off. Okay, we finished the left outer grill and then pull the yarn to fasten the loop and you get this shape. And now the tail and the body and the coronet, you can just follow the pattern on the screen and please capture the screen for your personal use only. Okay, now let's make coronet and following the pattern and then assemble them all together. Just attach the outer grill behind the inner gill like this and then coronet on both sides of the horn. Okay, now we finish. And then for the hand, please capture the screen. This one is pretty complicated because it has a specific pattern that is different from others. So now just make the base hand, slip stitch the yarn on the bottom of the hand like this, and then for the first step, make three chains. Okay, slip stitch the yarn and then make 3 chains like this toward the downside, and then slip stitch and then make 3 chains around the curve, and now slip stitch. You will get this, and then make another 3 chains toward the upside. Okay, toward upside like this, and now you will need to slip stitch somewhere inside of the hand like this. Okay, so if you see the reference, you can see that I have 3 lines, so I will refer to my 3 steps. And then after that, you just make 1 HDC on this stitch and then fasten off. So now we complete step 1, and now just sew the yarn tail to the bottom of it again. Let's start step 2 by slip stitch the yarn in, make 2 slip stitch, and then make 3 chains, go up toward upside like this, and then slip stitch somewhere inside the hand like this, and then make 1 HDC. Okay, make 1 HDC. So before you make HDC, you should make like 2 chains before making HDC. Okay, make HDC on the stitch and then fasten off. Sew the yarn tail down, and then slip stitch the yarn in again. We're going to make a step T, and then slip stitch the yarn in, make 3 chains, Okay, you can make 3 chain around the curve and then slip stitch. Okay, make 3 chain around the curve and then make slip stitch. Alright, and now fasten off, and now we finish the edge of the hand like this. And now let's move to the collar and the fin part. You can capture the screen for the reference of the code here. So I will show you just the fins. Okay, for the fin, just make magic rings and then SC, HDC, and then SC, which is quite simple. Okay, after that, for the second row, we will slip stitch around the fin using the sky blue lace yarn. So basically, just keep slip stitch around every stitch like this. So you can just make 1 chain or 2 chain and then slip stitch around to make the edge. Okay, maybe 2 chains and then slip stitch around this fin. And okay, we get this shape of the doublet. And now assemble the part together like this. Okay, and then just attach it to the head. Alright, and now for the last part would be the bow. For we have 2 pieces of bow piece 1 and piece 2 Please capture the screen and follow the pattern. Okay, now we get 2 pieces of the bow, and then don't forget to sew the tip of the bow to make it look pointed like this. And then just join both ends of piece 1 to with the 4mm wool per piece like this. Okay, now I finished joining them and then attach piece 1 on top of piece 2 like this, and then attach it on top of the head. Alright, and now we finish almost complete everything. And then lastly, just put the shell sequin, attach it with the glue on the collar. So now we complete this cute seahorse. I love her so much. Alright, let's move to the middle seahorse. The whole work used the lace yarn and 1.75mm crochet hook. We will use the color palette as follows. And then this is the pattern of the first part, the head. Please capture the screen for your personal use only. So you have to skip some stitch for the eye holes and the mouth holes. Alright, after you finish the following pattern, you will get this shape. And then for the mouth, the eyelid, and you can capture the screen for the summary of this page. For the mouth, just follow the pattern and you will get this. Alright, and then for the eyelid, for the right side of the eyelid, you have to slip the yarn at the top right corner of the eye hole. And the first one, you have to make 1 chain and then SC, and then make HDC in the same stitch on the corner. Okay, so this part is the right corner of the eye, and then the next stitch would be SC, and then the next one would be slip stitch, and then make 1 chain and then fasten off. You can also refer to the pattern on the right hand side of the screen. It is easier to see. And then let's sew it down to the bottom of the left corner like this, so you get the eyelid as follows. Then let's move to the left eyelid. For the left eyelid, you have to slip stitch the yarn at the bottom right corner of the eye hole. And then first off, just slip stitch. Make 2 slip stitch like this. Okay, make 1 slip stitch, and then the next one could be a slip stitch as well. Okay, slip stitch. Alright, and then the next one would be SC, HDC, and then SC in the same. Okay, make SC first, and then make HDC, and then SC in the same stitch. Alright, and now we can fasten off and then finish the left eyelid. And now let's move to the gill, the inner gill and the outer gill. The pattern would be quite complicated. Please capture the screen for your personal use. Okay, for the right gill, you have to work on row 11 to 14. On row 14, just slip the yarn on the front loop of row 14. And now let's start from the bottom. Slip the yarn in, make one chain SC on row 14, and then work HDC and then SC in the same stitch on the front loop of row 13. Alright, and then after that, slip stitch on row 12 and then make one chain SC, DC, DC on the front loop of row 12. So you have to work on the same stitch like this. Okay, you can see the chart on the right hand side of the screen because it's easier to understand where you have to work on. Alright, now I'm almost finished, and then lastly make SC and then slip stitch on row 11. Alright, after that you just fasten off, you will get this shape. And now for the left gill, let's work from the top. Let's work on the front loop of row 11 to row 14 as well on the other side. Start from the top, which is row 11, slip the yarn in, make one chain, and then make SC on the front loop of row 11, and then on row 12 make DC and then DC and then SC on the same stitch of row 12. Alright, now I'm working on making DC on row 12 and then make SC on the same stitch like this. Okay, SC on the same stitch like this, and now we finish. And then let's move to row 13. Okay, row 13. For row 13, you have to slip stitch on row 13 and then make one chain. And now work on the same stitch, SC, HDC on the front loop of row 13. And now let's make one chain and then let's slip stitch on row 14. Okay, slip stitch on row 14 like this, and then just fasten off. So for left gill, you have to work from top to bottom. You can see the chart on the right hand side of the screen, okay, which is easier to understand. Alright, and now attach 5mm black beads inside the eye hole like this. Okay, on the left and right side of the eye holes. And now just follow the pattern for the outer gill. For the outer gill, basically you have to work on magic ring and then just follow the pattern on the summary page. Okay, you have to work separately, and you will get two sizes of the gill as follows. Alright, now you get two sizes of the gill and then just attach them behind the inner gill like this. Alright, and now we finish. It will look like this. Okay, and then next part would be the horn and the coronet. For the horn, you have to work on the front loop of row 4. Because some part of row 4 you work on the back loop, so you left some loop in front of row 4. Okay, slip the yarn in front of row 4 like this. And then make one chain and then slip stitch. Okay, make SC first. Okay, make SC in the next stitch, and then make 4 SC. Okay, 4 SC, and then the last stitch would be slip stitch. Alright, and then make one chain and then turn for the second row. Make decrease. Okay, make decrease, and then change the color. Change the color and then make SC in the middle. So you change to the darker brown and make SC in the middle, and then change the color again, make decrease like this. Alright, and now you have the total of 3 stitches, and then make one chain and then turn. Make the last one would be 3 SC together. just like this. Okay, 3SC, and then just wrap the yarn together. Alright, now this is how I make 3SC together, like this. And now for the last row, you will have only one stitch left, and then fasten off. You will get the horn like this. Alright, and then let's move to the coronet. For the coronet, you just make magic ring SC, SDC, SC, and then fasten off. You will get the shape like the ear, the bear ear, whatever it is, and then just attach both of them besides the middle horn. And now let's decorate the facial detail by embroider the white yarn around the top of the eyelid like this. Alright, and now let's move to the tail and the body part. You can capture the screen for your personal use and just work according to the pattern and get this shape of the body. And then for the hand, please capture the screen and you must see the chart because it's easier to understand. This one I will show you. For the first and the second row, just work according to the pattern. You get this, and now I show you the third row. For the third row, slip stitch the yarn at the first stitch of row 2. You have to work on back loop for this row. Okay, first of all, make one chain and then make SC, HDC, DC, triple crochet, DC, HT, SC in the same stitch. Okay, now I'm working on it. So everything you have to work on the same stitch to get this shape like this. Alright, now I'm working on it. Okay, I guess this is HDC and then SC. Okay, now I finish everything on the same stitch, right? And next one, you have to make one chain and then slip stitch on the next stitch. Okay, slip stitch and then make one chain again and then make the same thing on the same stitch. SC, HDC, DC, triple crochet, DC, HC, HDC, SC in the same stitch. And then after you finish, just slip stitch on the next stitch and then fasten off. Okay, and now we have to work on the extension, which is the same thing. You have to, is this row 3 as well, but this time you have to work on the front loop of row 2 by slip stitch the yarn in the first stitch of row 2, make one chain and then make SC, DC, SC in the same stitch. Okay, and now make one chain and then slip stitch on the next stitch. Okay, and then make one chain and then make SC, DC, SC in the same stitch again. So the whole work of this extension, you have to work on the front loop of row 2. Okay, DC and then SDC on the same stitch, right? And then make one chain and then slip stitch on the last stitch and then fasten off. You will get this is a above layer of row 3. Alright, and now we continue on the main part. On row 4, slip stitch at the first stitch of row 3, skip one stitch and then make SC, increase, and then on the same stitch make HDC 2 chain and then make HDC on the same stitch like this. And then next one would be increase. Okay, increase, and then next one would be SC. And then make one chain, skip one stitch, and then slip stitch in the middle like this. Again, make one chain, skip one stitch, and then continue working on the next shell by completing the same code. Alright, after you finish, you will get this shape. Alright, and then fasten off when you finish it. Alright, then for row 5, change the color to yellow. Slip stitch the yarn at the first stitch of row 3. Make one chain, slip stitch on chain of row 4. Okay, and now make 2 slip stitch. And after that, make 2 SC like this. And then on the same stitch, you will have to make SC 1 chain SC in the same stitch, which is 2 chain of the previous row. Okay, and then after that, make 2 SC down the curve, make 2 slip stitch, and then make slip stitch in the middle of 2 wings like this, and then continue the same pattern, make 2 slip stitch. Okay, I'm going to make a slip stitch in the middle first like this, and then continue the same thing for the other wings, which is 2 slip stitch, 2 SC, and then in the middle make SC 1 chain SC in the same stitch. And then when you finish everything, you will have to fasten off, and then we finish the hand. And now after that, just make the collar and the fins according to the pattern on the screen. You can capture the screen for your personal use. I'm not showing you how to do this because it is quite the same as the baby seahorse from the previous section. And now you just have to assemble every part together like this. And now for the body and then for the head, just assemble them together. And now you will get the little cutie middle seahorse. I hope you guys love him. Alright, let's move to the last section, mother seahorse. There are so many components like trailing, horns, head, cheek, mouth, gill, fur, hand, body, fin, tail, and the color as shown in the color palette. Okay, and this is the first part of the component, the head. Please capture the screen for personal use. So it is basically the same as the little seahorse, that you have to skip the right part in order to create the mouth hole and the eye holes. So after you finish it, you will get something like this. So just basically follow the pattern and change the color according to instruction. And then just fill in polyester fiber. After that, let's move to the next part, the mouth and gill. So you can capture the screen for your personal use only. And this part would be the same as you work on the little seahorses. This one for the mouth, slip stitch the yarn at the bottom of the hole as well, and then continue making 2 SC first at the bottom of the hole. And after that, just make decrease around the corner. Okay, decrease, and then make SC on the corner like this. After that, make decrease again. You can also see the chart on the right hand side for the reference where to make it. And then make SC and then decrease, and then the last one would be SC. Okay, decrease first and then SC around the bottom part. And after you finish this row, you will have a total of 8 stitches. And yes, after you have 8 stitches, just continue the second row, decrease and then 6 SC. And after you finish the second row, you will have a total of 7 stitches. And then the third row, you will have to change the color a little bit. Maybe you might have a little bit different color. You can add it. And then make 7 SC and then fasten off like this, and then just sew to shape the mouth, sew it in order that it will connect more to the head part like this, and then fill in polyester fiber inside the mouth. Alright, and now let's go to the next part. The next part would be the gill. So I will show you the left gill first. So it's basically the same. Just work on the front loop of row 12 to row 14. First of all, start off by starting from row 12, slip stitch the yarn, make 3 chains, and then make triple crochet like this, and then make 3 chains, and then slip stitch on row 13. Okay, on the front loop of row 13 like this. Alright, and then next step would be make 3 chains and then make DC on the front loop of row 13, DC, and then make 2 chains. After that, slip stitch on the front loop of row 14 down there. Okay, make slip stitch here, and then last step would be making 2 chains and then make HDC on the front loop of row 14 and then fasten off like this. After that, just attach the gill to the head, and now you get this. Alright, let's move to the right gill. We will work on the front loop of row 12 to row 14 as well. Start off from the bottom, which is row 14. Slip stitch the yarn in, make 2 chains, make HDC like this, and then make 2 chains, and then just slip stitch on the front loop of row 13 like this. Alright, move to the next step would be making 3 chains and then make DC. Okay, making 3 chains and then make DC. Then make slip stitch like this, and then make the last one would be making 3 chains, making triple crochet, and then fasten off like this. Alright, and then for the eyes, which is pretty simple, just use 5mm back piece and wrap aside with the yellow yarn like this, and attach them inside the eye holes. Okay, just attach them like this. Alright, and now we finished both sides of the eyes. And then let's get next to the cheek, which is pretty simple. Just make magic ring 3SC and then fasten off. After that, just sew them together to form the loop. Okay, so around to form the loop. So now we get the circle shape, and now attach them at the cheek. After that, just embroider the eyebrow above the eye using salmon pink color. You can follow the instruction on how to embroider it right here. Alright, and then next part, the body part. Please capture the screen for your personal use of the body, which is quite complicated. And we will have to continue from the head, which is row 16. Just continue the body from the head. And now on row 20, we will have pale pink area, which you will have to work on back loop. Also row 21 and 22 as well, just change the color and work on back loop in this area. After that, just cut the thread like 6 cm long, and then just insert each thread in front of this front loop. So on the front loop of row 22 with lilac color, and then row 21 with purple, and then for in front of row 20 with pale pink color. And then after that, just trim them as follows. And next part, you have to scratch it with tassel brush to make it look more fluffy. Alright. And then continue the rest of the body following the pattern from the summary page. Try filling in polyester fiber while you working on it, like this. Alright, now it's done. Let's continue the tail part and also the tail extension, which is quite difficult. I will show you just the tail extension from row 43. Just continue the tail extension by making 6 chains. Okay, the first row make 6 chains and then turn, slip stitch on the second stitch from the hook, and then make 2 SC, SC, SC again. Next one is HDC, Okay, HDC, and then DC, and then fasten off. Okay, you will get this shape. Alright, and then sew it to row 43. And now for the second row, you will have to make the shape of this by slip stitch the yarn at the first stitch of row 1, make 4 chains, and then make SC on the third stitch from the hook, make HDC still on the chain, right? And then slip stitch on the first stitch of row 1. So basically just a slip stitch on the purple area. Okay, like this, the first stitch of row 1 right here. Okay, now you get the first star, right, the first point, and then make 2 chains, and then make DC in the next stitch, like this, DC. Okay, and then make 2 chains, and then make DC in the next stitch. Okay, and then after that make 2 chains, and then skip 1 stitch, and then make slip stitch while changing the color to the pale pink as well, and then continue making the last point. This is the second point, right? And now the third point by making 4 chains, and then SC on the third stitch from the hook, and then HDC, and then skip 2 stitch of row 1. Okay, skip 2 stitch of row 1 of the purple area, and now just slip stitch on purple area and then fasten off. So now you have the T point of them. Okay, and then the last row, which is row 3, we will have to make the edge around it by make 3 slip stitch using the pink color. 3 slip stitch, and then on the point make 1 chain, and then make 3 slip stitch again, and then after that slip stitch between section 1 and 2, so which is the point 1 and 2, and then I change the color to the darker pink, and now continue making 3 slip stitch. This is how you make the edge of it. Okay, make 3 slip stitch, and on the top, you know, on the tip of everything, we will make 1 chain. Make a SC, make SC, and then make 2 chains, and then make SC in the same stitch, and then continue making 3 slip stitch down the way to the point between section 2 and 3. Okay, so make 3 slip stitch like this, and then also slip stitch between section 2 and 3. I also change the color to pink color. So if you change the color, it will look more dynamic. And then make also change the color, and then also make 3 slip stitch around the third section. Yeah, around the third point like this, and then on the tip make 1 chain, and then continue making 3 slip stitch around the point. Okay, now we finish the edging of the heel extension. Okay, we finish, and then don't forget to sew the tip to make it look more pointed like this. Alright, and then last step would be attaching 10 mm pearl beads. Try to embrace the tail around it like this. Also attach 4 mm pearl beads on the neck. Okay, next part would be the hands. Please capture the screen for your personal use only. Okay, and then let's get started for the hand. Let's start off magic ring 3 chains, and then make 2 triple crochet on the ring like this. So I use the purple, I use blue, light blue color Alright, now I finished the first row, then slip stitch with the first stitch to form the cylinder. And now for continue row 2 to row 7, and you will get the shape like this. It might be a little difficult from the beginning, but when you finish, and then for row 8, you have to fold half and then make 5 SC in both layers, which you will end up having only 5 stitches when you finish row 8 like this. And then for row 9, you will have to make 1 chain. Okay, this is the row 8, and then for row 9, make 1 chain and then turn, make increase, and then make 3 SC and then increase. After you finish this row, you will have a total of 7 stitches. Alright, and then continue row 10 to row 12 by make 1 chain and then turn for every row from this. Okay, now you get 2 hands, and then for the fin and the horn, you can capture the summary of the pattern right here. And now let's get started. For the fin, start off with magic rings, make 2 chains and then make DC on the chain. And then when you switch the color, okay, when you make DC, change the color to light blue, and then make 2 chains, and then slip stitch on top of DC. Okay, just put the hook into DC stitch. Okay, this is DC, right? Make slip stitch on DC. When you make slip stitch, change the color to amethyst as well. Alright, after that, continue DC on the ring, and then make 2 chains. Okay, DC on the ring and then make 2 chains. Okay, 1, 2, 2 chains, and then slip stitch on the ring, and then fasten off. Okay, finish. After that, just pull the yarn to fasten the loop like this, and now you get the shape of the fin. After that, just embroider pink in the middle of both fins. Okay, we finished the fin like this, and now after you complete all the parts, just assemble all parts together, attach both hands sideways on row 16 of the body. And then for the fins, attach them sideways on row 31 to 32. And then let's move to the horn. For the horn, I will show you just the left horn. Make 6 chains and then turn, make 2 slip stitch on the chain like this. And then after that, make 5 chains and then turn, make 4 slip stitch. Okay, after you make 4 slip stitch, and then you can just slip stitch on the main part, slip stitch, and then make SC, and then on the last chain, make HDC. Okay, now we finish. Just fasten off. Then sew the tip and shape it as shown. Okay, and then make 2 of them like this. Alright, and now let's move on to the last part of this component, which is the trunk rings. So you have to use 4 colors: salmon pink, pastel pink, pale pink, and then white. We have to make the chain, and then change the color according to the chart. 5 chain in white, 6 chain in pale pink, and as follow. And now for the second row, make 2 chains and then turn, skip the first stitch and then make 5 DC in the same stitch to make the shell shape like this. Okay, after you make 5 DC, it will look like this. Sorry for the blur area, but I will show you more. And then skip 1 stitch and then make slip stitch. Okay, and then move on. Let's move on to the second shell. On the second shell, doing the same thing. Skip 1 stitch. Make 5 DC in the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we finished 5 DC in the same stitch, and then skip 1 stitch and then make slip stitch. Now we finish the second shell, so we have to make 3 shells in salmon pink. And then after you finish 3 shells, just change to pastel pink. Slip stitch the yarn in, skip 1 stitch, make 5 HDC in the same stitch, and then slip stitch. Okay, HDC, 1 HDC, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then on the next stitch would be slip stitch, and now you just repeat this by slip 1 stitch and then make 5 DC in the same stitch and then make slip stitch. Okay, this is for make 3 of them for the pastel pink, and then for the pale pink, just make 3 HDC in the same stitch and then slip stitch, and then just repeat this for the total of 3 times. Okay, make 3 HDC like this and then make slip stitch and then just repeat this. And then for the last one, which is the white one, for the white, make only 2 of them by making SC, HDC, and then SC in the same stitch. And okay, and then SC again, okay, in the same stitch. Okay, SC again in the same stitch. Okay, now we finish the shell of the white one, and then slip stitch in the next stitch, and then continue SC, HDC, and SC in the same stitch, and then slip stitch in the next stitch, and then fasten off. Just leave 1 chain at the bottom undone like this. Okay, now finish the trunk ring. And then after that, just attach this trunk ring from the middle of the head down the spine. You can use the pin like this and attach both horns around row 6 to row 7 of the head. Now we finish Mother Seahorse. Alright everyone, so now our family of seahorses is completed. Tell me who is your favorite, and thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram, and see you guys in the next tutorial.